generally in autochthonous religions where we see like land and water as sacred, and they'll usually be worshipped in form, like for example Ganga
Hmm.
has like a physical manifestation, and we have lots of worship that revolves around her, especially like in Uttar Pradesh, right?
Hmm.
And in the South, we have our own rivers. We have like Kaveri and all that. So in Hinduism, the idea is that the divinity is the upholding like Rita, the
Yeah.
sacred orders. So to forget your Ishta devatas, your clan deities, your land deities, which is what, Christianity demands, would be the actual destruction of the sacred dharma of that land, of those people. So they would be seen as deeply disruptive. It's why, like, when Hindu gurus like go into different parts, they actually never disrupt like worship for
Yeah.
whatever water, land, tree entities that the people, worship.
Yeah. But what you're describing there is an inherent respect for, I mean, gurus, when they go into other places that are indigenous, have other
Hmm.
indigenous traditions, and by indigenous I mean pre-Abrahamic traditions, right? The
Yeah.
primary religions. They respect other people's concepts of sacredness,
Yeah.
right? That's wired into being Hindu, but that's not wired into the Western religions, right?
No, no, it's
At
not.
all. And so I was thinking about how this manifests very much in social justice in the West. This idea that what I believe is the truth, and if you are a moral and good person, you will believe what I believe. And
Yes.
if you don't believe this, then you are an immoral actor. And you're not even allowed to question it, right? To the point where it very much, it's not just that it feels like it's an observable phenomenon, that we're living in an age of inquisition right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like social justice is an inquisition era
Yeah.
in the
It
West.
is, but it's also like Christian in its origin,
Right,
or at
very
least
much.
borrows a lot of the Christian ideas of
Yeah,
oppressor and oppressed and
yeah,
inquisitorial
yeah.
behaviors.
But
Yeah.
also comes down to this, like, what I believe is true and moral and right, and anyone who doesn't believe this, other beliefs are false. Any other belief is false, and that's the premise for the Inquisition, right? And
Yes.
there's something that's inherently, like, the Hindu architecture internally just does not, like, we just can't countenance this. We can't deal with it. There's something inherent that just rubs us the wrong way. Even if we try to engage in spaces where we think, okay, there's some relationship between dharma and social justice, that inquisitionatory, I don't know what the frame is, nature of social justice just doesn't sit right for Hindus, because we're supposed to be able to pause and say, hold on, what is the right action here?
I
Right?
think we like operate from the framework of loka samastha sukhino
Yeah.
bhavatu,
Yeah.
where everybody should have the, opportunity. May there be peace and prosperity for all people.
Yeah.
So, and this is like really encoded in the Mahabharata. You see that in the Itihasas really strongly, where like Yudhishthira gets like a long, lecture from Narada. He comes, he visits, and he's like quizzing Yudhishthira, right? He's like,
Yeah.
do you know the codes? And Yudhishthira is like, yes, I know. You have to make sure all the people are, you know, taken care of and have a chance for prosperity. And then like he's quizzed on how do you, listen to the people, and he like gives a whole bunch of ways that he does that.
Yeah.
So I think that's our framework. And I think you can see the overlaps, because if somebody's like being discriminated against for housing or jobs, employment, whatever it is, and that's the only way for current modern society were for people to have prosperity, then that would be adharmic for like a leader to uphold, right? So, but I think the constant, like, there's like, you have to like accept that this is the right framework, that this group of people are always oppressed. I think that rubs us really the wrong way.
Well, and just not being able to ask questions about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like, having to accept it as the only right thing and everything else is false just doesn't sit right for us. We're just wired. I mean, it's why so many of us go into, I would say, not just the hard sciences, but the humanities and social sciences asks questions in its healthiest form, asks questions as well. We're naturally wired to ask questions and questions, and that's how progress is made, right? Ironically, we're described as like sort of stuck and traditional, but traditional Hinduism is actually asking questions in order for progress to happen.